Hello, this is Coach Alex, and in this video I will show you a game that was played in the recent Grand Prix tournament between Bahadur Jobava and Hikaru Nakamura. Jobava has the white pieces and the game starts with d4, knight f6, knight c3, d5, bishop f4, bishop f5, f3, e6, g4 attacking the bishop, bishop back to g6, h4 trying to trap the bishop, playing h5, h5 played by black to open the room for the bishop to escape, g5 attacking the knight, knight from f to d7, e3, a6, bishop d3 attacking bishop, bishop takes bishop, c pawn takes bishop, knight c6, pawn g6. This is actually an inaccurate move. But the best move in this position instead of g6 was knight from g to e2, which was going to lead to a line if black played the best possible move to bishop d6, bishop takes d6, pawn takes d6, queen b3, b5, knight f4, g6, rook c1, black castles, king f2, rook c8, a3, queen b6, knight e2, rook f2, e8, king g2, b4, queen d1, b pawn takes, and so on and so on. Instead, he played g6 in this position. It was followed by f takes g6, bishop attacks queen, bishop blocks, f4 now, knight to f6, queen b3, queen d7, knight f3, knight g4, king e2, bishop f6, rook from a to c1, b6, rook c2. Now again, this is now an inaccurate move for Jobava. Instead, better was to play queen a4, pinning the knight to the queen. Then knight, if he retreats, queen takes queen, king takes queen, king d2, knight f5, knight e5, check, knight takes knight, pawn from d takes, bishop takes g5, pawn from f takes, d4, e pawn takes, knight takes pawn, king e3, knight f5, check, king d2, and would lead to a line that is okay for white. Instead, knight to c2 was kind of cluttering his pieces. Hikaru played knight e7, builds a battery Jobava with his rooks. Black castled, queen a4 now, queen refuses the trade. It's an inaccurate move. Pawn to b5 was better, getting some more momentum and tempo, attacking the queen, building a nice pawn structure and pushing on the queen's side. There was really nothing what it can do about it, and black here has a passed pawn that can be pushed. Instead, he moved back with the queen, then knight came to d1, rook a7, knight backs off, rook repositions himself, knight f7, queen a3, king h7, knight h3, knight d6, knight to e5, knight from d to f5, b4, queen d6, queen c3, c6, knight f3, which is another inaccurate move. Best was backing off with the queen, with the idea that if king h8, knight from g to c1, rook from g to c1, rook c7, a4, king g8, king g1, knight takes h4, bishop takes h4, bishop takes h4, rook c to c1, knight f6, knight g5, knight bishop takes e5, pawn takes, queen d7, a5, b takes a5, b takes a5, and we arrive to a position which would be okay again for white. Instead, he played knight to f3, was followed by a5, pawn takes, rook takes, queen d2, rook a3, builds the battery again. Black builds battery on the a file, knight f2, c5, d takes, b pawn takes, rook takes a2 attacking the queen, rook c2, rook takes c2, queen takes c2, knight checks the king, king e1, queen checks, queen blocks, queen takes with check, knight takes queen, knight to f5, e4, and again this is inaccurate move. Knight to d1 was better. It was gonna follow by knight takes, king f2, rook a2, king takes, check, king moves, takes, knight f2, e5, bishop takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, rook check, king h6, rook d4, e takes, knight takes, and well, it's not perfect, but it is better for white. It's still a losing game though. Instead, bishop takes g5 after he played e4, of course. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight d4, knight h3, rook a3, f5, which is a mistake now. He should have taken the e pawn, and it was going to be followed by a line like this, and it's giving white some chances with the pawn, but not too much. So he's down 3 pawns. It's just going from bad to worse here, even in the best scenarios. Let's see the rest of the game. It was a matter of stopping the d pawn right there and making sure, which is exactly what Hikaru did right there. And now he's left with 4 pawns against 1. White gave it a fight here, but black is just having too much power here. He tried to go for a draw, check, blocks, and now it's down to 2 pawns against 1. Although those 2 pawns are doubled and they count as 1, but still for Hikaru this is a winning game. You lost one of the pawns to trade the knights, which is going to make things easier now going to the end game. And let's just see, this is the point where Jobava resigned. Thank you, and please watch the rest of the videos. Have a great day.